All right, okay, so let's do this. So we are doing episode 151, folks. We've got basically a really interesting show because we've got two
Mm.
big movies of the week that we want to be speaking about, which are the Suicide Squad and a very old movie, if you want to put it like that. But listen, yeah, so those are the movies that we're going to be speaking about. If we've got time, I actually don't think will have time, but if we've got time, we're going to sneak in another one. No hidden gems this week, unfortunately. So we're going to be thinking about one for the next episode. But before we do any of all the other stuff, Deval, we're going to be doing shout out. So listen, who we shouting out this week?
Yeah, just a quick shout out this week goes out to Cloud Watcher Uno. Cloud Watcher Uno, I think I've said before, it's got a really eclectic
Yeah.
sound. Really does a podcast on different music. And if you go out to his podcast, you can listen to all the music that he likes. He interviews all the artists. Really, really cool, quality podcast, actually. So go check out Cloud Watcher Uno on Instagram. Also, he loves his movies as well. So go and have a chat to him about that.
Exactly. All right. And remember, folks, keep in touch with us. Keep the conversation flowing on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook pages. And you know what? We'll get back in touch with you on all those things. All right. Let's do movie news, Devaldo. Now, it's been quite an interesting period because a lot of the world is coming out of the pandemic, and I've noticed now, Deval, that production on a lot of movies, they've just kind of picked up pace, and we spoke about that last week. But here's another one that we need to add to the mix: Ant-Man Part 3. So Ant-Man and the Ant-Man and the
Quantumania.
Wasp,
Ant-Man and the Wasp
Quantumania.
Quantumania. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like Quantum
Crazy.
Leap, but Quantumania.
Exactly.
you know?
And this is going to be interesting for people who finished watching Loki, and I'm aiming that one at
Yeah,
you, Emmanuel, who's
yeah.
just finished it a couple of days ago. So that one connects Kang the Conqueror. We know that what's his name is going to be in it. Who's the actor again?
Michael Douglas or
No,
who?
who's
Ant-Man.
playing Kang again?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors. So we've already seen Jonathan Majors. He appeared in Loki, the final episode of Loki, and this kind of is going to be setting up, Ant-Man and the Wasp Part 3.
Mm,
Jonathan Majors is going to be in there. But the news is that it started production. Peyton Reed, who is the director of Parts 1 and number 2, he kind of shared
mm.
something on Twitter, and he kind of put up a picture. And I reckon. How long do you reckon they work on these movies, Devel? What, 6 months or maybe even less than that?
I'd say a bit less actual film time, like on set, because obviously pre-production,
Yeah.
post-production is a big thing with special effects and stuff, and then
Yeah.
sometimes they recall for reshoots and stuff. So yeah, there was a few months, but Marvel's a really well-oiled machine, so
Yeah,
you
man.
would expect that they work out a lot out of the Atlanta studio as well as filming on location in different countries around the world. But you would think that the schedule to the production manager and producers and stuff, they've got things well
Yeah.
drilled, so as minimal time as possible to get what they need done.
Exactly. So listen, folks, we've already seen, the appearance of Kang, well, a
Mm.
variant of Kang, and just expect a whole load more in this movie. So we'll keep you posted on that one. Now, this is probably big news, and we kind of spoke a bit about it. We said we know that Hawkeye is going to be coming later on this year. We didn't know specifically when, but Deval, we've got a date in mind.
Yeah, so Hawkeye, the series on Disney Plus, is going to land on the 24th of November this year, 2021.
That's
So
just around the corner,
yeah,
man.
Disney Plus. You know what? If you got Disney Plus subscription, you are laughing. This
I
year
know.
they did not mess about. They've given us everything we wanted and more. So yeah, so that's a date for your diaries before the end of the year. So you know that that's going to last 6 episodes or so, and you can already think what's going to come out after that. You got not Mandalorian 3. What's it? Boba Fett's coming out after that.
Yeah.
What's it before that? I think. I don't even know. Are we still getting Miss Marvel? Like, is that
Yeah.
still
Well,
happening before
apparently,
it?
exactly. Well,
So
apparently, the news that we brought last week was that we were going to get Hawkeye and we were going to
yeah,
get Ms. Marvel, but we didn't know the date. So maybe, yeah, where are they going to fit in Boba and
they're
so
giving us a
between
lot. I'm not
November and
complaining.
December?
I'm not complaining. If they whatever they give us, we're gonna gobble it up.
Exactly.
So becoming.
So keeping it with Disney Devout, I want to mention this, and this is hitting up Twitter. This has been hitting up the internet, and loads of people are talking about it because it's kind of
Yeah.
like shaking up the
I was
industry.
surprised at
If
this.
that's
Yeah.
exactly, shaking up the industry, if that's what you want to call it. But check this out: Scarlett Johansson, huge Hollywood star. She's one of the highest paid actresses in the world, and she is taking Disney to court. She is
Mm.
suing Disney, man. And Disney, they are one of the biggest media companies. Obviously, the Marvel, they've got Fox, and they've got loads of, they've got their fingers in lots of different pies. But Deval, just break it down slightly. What is going on over here? Why is Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, taking on? She just took on flipping Taskmaster. What's she doing now, taking on Disney? What's going on?
Yeah, she's. I mean, there was quite a lot of. Well, first of all, it was delayed for over a year. This movie was supposed to come out in
Yeah,
May 2020, I believe. Obviously, pandemic hit, but because of the way her contract was set up with this movie, she's supposed to get a certain amount of money
yeah.
according to box office sales, which is what a lot of people doing they weave into their contracts rather
It's
than
a
getting
true
a fixed
deal.
amount. Yeah, exactly. Rather than getting a fixed amount, they get more money from post movie or post
Box office
release
sales.
kick-ons. Exactly. So some people do a percentage of box office sales. Some people all kinds of things. So for her, she's supposed to be getting a wad of cash for box office sales. But because Disney released the movie, uh, you know, they released it in the cinema at a time where it's not obviously great, and then they're also releasing the movie, or they released it. I think it was a week later, or maybe at the
Yeah,
same time, but on
on on
Disney
Disney
Plus
Premiere.
Premiere, so people can pay for it on that. So that affected the way her money was triggered according to her clause in her contract. She's not happy. This is her swan song for Marvel. She's been in Marvel since 2010.
Yeah,
She felt she deserved a nice payout from it. She's done well, and she wasn't happy about the sort of financial payment that she's going to be getting. So she's taking it to court, but she is within her rights to do. Whether
yeah,
she gets what she wants out of this through the courts, whether they settle out of court or what, we'll have to wait and see.
yeah, man. It just feels kind of like a bit like obviously she's had this relationship with Disney. She's
Mm,
made all these movies, and they've made a lot of money. And if it stipulates in a contract that she's gonna get X amount based on X amount of sales, then fair enough. You know what, take the call. But there's kind of been a bit of a backlash. People are saying that the way that she's being treated is because of her gender. That
mm,
there's kind of like she's being a female. She's been in Hollywood, and
mm.
Hollywood famously run by white middle class people, and there's going to be some sort of kind of she's going to be treated differently. So yeah, so we'll keep kind
Yeah,
of like our eye on this, and we'll figure out. But you know what, I reckon
awesome.
they're going to do a settle out, man. They might
Uh,
just say, here you go, here's
Possibly,
50
but
million.
50 million is actually the amount that she's set to lose by the way that the film's being released. $50 million was supposed to be, if it was released, at the right, I guess you
Yeah,
could say the right time, but if it was released solely in a cinema and Disney Plus wasn't involved, because in Disney Plus opening weekend, Disney Plus picked up $60 million from
is it?
revenue. Yeah, and I think worldwide it grossed 218 million dollars worldwide in the first weekend, which is good. It's good, but obviously it's not what it used to be. So because of the Disney Plus, part as well, they say altogether she's lost out, or she could lose out when it's all said and done. $50 million, which is quite a lot.
That is a lot,
Hmm.
man. So you can imagine that she is going to
Yeah,
try and take this to court, man. Come on,
yeah,
seriously, that's 50
yeah.
mil, man.
It's not a
Yeah,
small
so
amount. Yeah,
exactly, it's not an insignificant amount. All right, okay, so we'll keep our eye on that one. As soon as we find out, Flixters, we'll definitely let you know. Now, check this out. We know that there's been several iterations of Batman on screen. So we've had obviously Michael Keaton, we've had Val Kilmer, George Clooney. I always forget George Clooney played Batman. Obviously
yeah.
Christian Bale. Now we're getting Robert Pattinson, and obviously before him was Ben Affleck. But check this out, Winston Duke.
What?
Winston Duke, that brother is going to be
Say
playing. Check
what?
this out. He's going to be voice. He's playing the voice of Batman for a This is brilliant, man. This is a something called Batman Unburied. Okay,
Mm.
this is going to be a kind of like a voice animation. So this is appearing on Spotify as a podcast,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
being written by David S. Goyer, who wrote
Mm.
the Dark Knight
Suicide Squad
trilogy.
and mm.
Exactly. So Duke's going to star as Bruce Wayne and Jason Isaacs. You remember that? The British actor Jason
Yeah, yeah,
Isaacs,
yeah. He was in Star Trek Discovery as well. Yeah,
Discovery.
yeah.
He's going to be playing Alfred.
Okay.
So yeah, man. So it's going to be really good. There isn't
Mm.
a lot of plot details, but this is going to be a Spotify exclusive. But
Okay.
I just thought, this is kind of like interesting to get in
Mm.
a different format. Spotify, you download it as a
Yeah.
podcast, and you get this kind of real intimate look at Batman and Bruce Wayne's character, where he has to solve
Mm.
a. We don't know much about it, but it's basically he's solving a crime. So there's going to be a lot of internal monologue going on, and
Okay.
kind of lends itself to the kind of like
Okay.
that whole podcast kind of
Yeah.
medium. So that,
Interesting. Okay.
that is interesting, right? So,
Mm.
so look out for that one, and as soon as that comes out, we'll definitely let you know. Now, Invincible, which is an animation on Amazon Prime. Deval
Yeah.
and I, we watched this. We really liked it.
Really
Deval, I
good.
mean,
Really love
what did
this.
you make of it?
It's one of the best things that's come out of Amazon. It's really, really
Yeah,
good. It's so true to form, like how a comic reads and how it looks. It's literally a comic on screen. So I
yeah,
think it's one of the most, well interpreted comic book depictions ever, really. So yeah, really
yeah.
good.
And the voice acting on that is really, really good. J.K. Simmons as Omni. Is it Omni Man? I can't remember if
Omni
it's
Man,
Omni
yeah,
Man. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he's really, really good. And it's written by the comics was written by Robert Kirkman,
Mm.
who's behind the Walking Dead stuff, which is going to be airing pretty soon, by the way. But check this out. So a live action film adaptation of Invincible is on its way. Now, Devout, is that a
Live
good thing
action.
though?
Oh man, live action.
I know.
Nah, we don't
So
need
check
live
this
action,
out.
man.
I
Leave it as it
know.
is. Ah,
So Robert Kirkman at Comic Con. So this is at speaking at this year's Comic Con at Home event. Robert Kirkman, he confirmed that a live action adaptation is indeed in development. It's at an early stage yet, so we don't know about casting rumors or anything like that, or too many other details. But I mean, yeah, this is coming from the guy who created it. He's saying that there's going to be a live action version. Is it? Do we want it? Is
no,
it
I don't
needed?
want it. Because I mean,
Yeah,
The Boys is on Amazon. That's really good. Again,
yeah,
that's quite a really good depiction of comic book medium put
yeah,
onto the screen, but in live action. And I think if we had a live action version of Invincibles, it would kind of come across like, like The Boys. But
yeah.
Invincible it's good how it is, man. Don't If it's not broken, don't fix it. I think they're going backwards. That's a
Why?
backward step for me. Backward step.
It's like, why do they have to have like
Mm,
everything as a
yeah,
like, it doesn't, because when that show came on and when I watched it, I was like, you know what, it just lends itself so well to animation.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um I don't know whether or not it'd be a success. Maybe, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, apparently it's in development. So
Mm,
if you're fans of Invincible, maybe we're going to see over the next couple of years a live action thing. Let's speak about Predator, or Predators, or whatever
oh,
you want to call it. Um, Director Dan Trachtenberg apparently is
okay.
he's behind the new Predator movie. And the news is not only have they got a title for it, but that it's already been shooting since
Oh,
last November.
what?
So the guy who directed 10 Cloverfield Lane, his name is Dan Trachtenberg, and we're
Oh,
fans of that movie.
okay, interesting.
Yeah, so he's developing this. They started filming in November, and it's called Skull.
Skull,
Skull.
because they like to collect skulls, don't they? They clean
Yes.
them out. But I think predators are really like anal, OCD. When they
Yeah.
kill someone, rip out
Washing the
their
brain and like,
skull, they wash it out. Anti-bac and all that. Just scrub it, scrub it, scrub it. Put it on the mantelpiece. Sit back, put their feet up with a cup of tea. Just go.
Yep. That is wicked, man.
Just
Anytime.
drinking.
I know. This is mad. So listen, the plot details that we do have, the main character is going to be a woman who encounters a predator on its first journey to Earth. So this story takes place before the first movie, so the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And
Women are
the
getting it tough,
director,
women are getting it
Exactly.
tough because think about it. A woman these days, you encounter predators here at work, on Earth, at work, at the gym, yeah, walking down the street. I mean, and now you're gonna encounter predators from space. Please wait,
Exactly.
mate.
It's that
Be a woman.
exactly. I
Mm,
know, man. Wow, man, woman's
tough.
life. But
Look
check
after
this
our
out.
women, man.
Yeah. So this is what the director had to say. He says it goes back to what made the original Predator movie work. It's the ingenuity of a human being who won't give up, who's able to observe and interpret, basically being
Mm,
able to be a stronger, more powerful, well-armed force. Mm.
mm, okay.
So get ready, folks.
Okay.
There's going to be a new Predator movie out, and yeah, man, we're fans of obviously the whole Predator, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely watch that one. And
Yeah.
Deval, lastly on anniversary on movie news, what have we got
Yeah. So, an Exorcist trilogy is being
now?
planned by Universal.
This is
So,
crazy. So when I read
yeah,
this, I was just
this
like,
is
this is
Exorcist.
mad.
I mean, 1973 it first came out. Is it William something Blackley? I can't remember his
That's
full
it.
name, but it's that movie when it first came out. I mean, the world wasn't ready for that. People were sick in the cinema. People were
Bro,
fainting. Like
I know.
shit went down. This is 1973, before Insta, before Facebook, before we were all desensitized to shit. Now you can show that to someone, they'll be laughing. Back in those days,
Exactly.
that was scary shit. It was
I know.
unjust. It was unbecoming. You
You
know.
know what? Even
Oh,
when I watched it, like, when I was like a kid, which at an age which I shouldn't have, it just seriously, it
mm,
just scares the shit out of you. But
mm,
apparently, but Blumhouse, so check this out,
mm.
Blumhouse is
Blumhouse, say
basically
no more.
behind it.
Mm-mm,
Exactly.
mm-mm.
So they're reviving it and they're working on a trilogy of movies with the first one to roll out in theaters in October 2023. But here, that's not the
Oh,
news.
okay.
The news here is that they're bringing back um, the
Not
mum.
Regan. Oh, the mum.
Uh,
Hold on.
yeah, they're bringing back the mum. So Ellen Burstyn from
Oh
the
shit.
original. Yeah, I don't know how
Is
old she
it?
is. Yeah, so they're bringing her back,
I heard
and
she got injured on set doing that, didn't she?
she did.
I think,
She
yeah,
she
she got
did.
injured on set doing that. I think, yeah.
She got injured on set with that one, and they're also roping in Leslie Odom Jr., who we
Oh,
saw in
one night in Miami, innit?
One Night in Miami. We saw him in
Mm.
One Night in Miami, so he's going to be starring in it. We don't know. Is he going to be a copper? Is he going to be the priest? I don't know.
I
Whatever.
reckon he'll be
But
a priest. I reckon he
yeah,
can pull off a priest. Yeah, I reckon he'll do
yeah,
that.
yeah. But basically, yeah. So that movie is like what? How long has it been? What 73? What is it now? 40 over 40.
2021. Yeah, so
What is it? 44 years or something like that or something. I don't know.
yes, it's touching 50 years, isn't it? It's
50
nearly 50, nearly 50,
years.
48 years old,
Oh
that film
man.
is. So by the time it comes
Yeah,
out, shit, by the time it comes out in
exactly.
2023, that'll be 50 years. They're doing this on
50,
purpose. They're planning that shit.
50
50-year
years, man.
anniversary. Yep,
Anniversary.
yep.
So be prepared to be scared. If you haven't seen
Yep.
the Exorcist movie, seriously go back and watch it,
Mm,
even though it's
hmm.
from the 1970s and you think, oh, 1970s,
Mm,
the special effects and stuff like that. No,
yeah.
trust me,
But there
you
was
are
a
going
good
to be
series
shit
that
scared.
came out. Only one season has happened
Yes.
so far, and that is
Yeah, I don't know
still
what happened.
linked to the movies as well. So that came out, I think, 2 years ago. The
A couple of years
Exorcist
ago as well.
series. Yeah, so that's really good. That's actually
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
So
so if
yeah,
you can watch those and get up to speed, because in the next couple of years we're going to be seeing more of The
yeah,
Exorcist and all that sort of
yeah,
stuff. So check that out. Right, okay, that's movie news. Now, Deval, let's check out Boxset Watchlist. Now, you've got something interesting for us, something lovely. Tell us what
yep.
this is.
Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. Yeah, so this is Love Island. I wasn't going to sing that song anymore, trust me. I don't even know the words. But yeah, Love Island, USA, and also UK happening
Uh,
simultaneously. So
wow.
the one in the USA is in Hawaii. Great location, but I don't know why, but at this moment in time, it's raining a lot. So every time I watch it, there's
Ah,
rain. It's shit.
pissing down. Yeah,
But the series is good. It's no, it's yeah, it's interesting series. Obviously, there's a lot of hot people on there. We all know how Love Island works. You're on an
yeah,
island with lots of hot people. You get together, you have relationships, and then the drama kicks off, and then we all enjoy it. That's Love Island. UK version. It started off really boring, but now we started to heat up because there's lots of love triangles and love squares
yeah.
going on. It's crazy. But yeah, a
Is
lot of
it?
people in the UK really liking the the UK Love Island. So yeah, they're both happening right now. I know they're on different channels at the moment. I think in the US it's on Paramount. or Paramount Plus. And in the
Yeah.
UK, you can get that on ITV. So yeah, go ahead and watch some Love Island if you want some love in the sun.
And you know the UK one, is there? Do they have people from America on that one?
No,
Isn't it
no, that
mixed?
one.
Wasn't there one that you said that was mixed?
Oh, that was one called Love Too Hot to Handle. That was on
Oh
Netflix.
right, okay, okay,
That's a different concept where they're
okay.
on an island and they can't touch each other, they can't kiss each other, and
Oh
if they
right,
kiss and
okay, okay, okay,
touch, they
yeah,
lose
yeah,
money.
yeah.
Like the money stays up this way, and the more
And
they
then the
do stuff,
more
it goes
frisky
down.
they get, that
Yeah,
comes down. Right.
exactly.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, listen, look, Love Island fans, go check it out. That's Love Island USA and UK. You can binge watch that, box watch it, whatever it is on TV, and have a great time. Now, let's speak about some trailers, a couple of new trailers. And Deval, we spoke about this on last week's episode, and it was part of the
Mhm.
movie news. And one of the things that I didn't realize is that um, Zack Schneider's Dawn Army of the Dead. I didn't realize that the prequel to this movie it's basically in the can. Like, you know what? It's already been done. They've done the trailer for it
I'm
and it's going to be
so
coming
shocked at
out.
that. Where did that come from?
What? I thought this
Yeah,
was going to be something that they were working on maybe in a year's time or whatever,
yeah.
but the prequel to Army of the Dead is basically coming and the trailer's already out. It's called Army of Thieves, and
Oh,
the German character in that uh, Army of the Dead is kind of like the focus of this
mm.
movie, alongside the British actress, the one from
Natalie
Fast and
Emmanuel, Game
Furious.
of Thrones.
She's
Oh,
brilliant. She's lovely.
yeah, yeah, she's really good.
So
Miss
she's in
Sandy.
this, yeah. And so basically, she's putting a team together, and then they've got to go into Las Vegas, or they've got to go somewhere, and they've got to basically steal something. And it's kind of a prequel before all the zombie shit happens, like you know. But yeah, you know what? It's the prequel for Army of the Dead, Deval.
Mm, I'll watch that. That sounds
We'll
interesting.
watch it.
Hmm.
We'll check it out. And then I think there's going to be kind of like another one, and maybe they might even time jump and maybe even go one
Oh,
beyond that as well. So check it out. It's called Army of the Thieves. And the other trailer I want to speak about is Chucky, the TV
hmm,
series.
hmm. My name's
Chucky,
Jackie. Wanna play?
exactly. So we got the movie, which was I think came out in 2017, came out a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and it was voiced by Mark Hamill. But this guy, this Chucky, is actually voiced by the original Chucky
What?
guy, Brad Dourif.
Serious.
He's back, and
Oh
it's in a
shit.
it's a TV show, and we're going to be seeing this soon. I'm not sure where it's coming out in the
Mm,
UK, but
mm.
in America it's going to be on. I think it's Showtime. I think I've got
Okay.
feelings on Showtime.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So yeah, so a kid basically he goes to one of these flea market sales, and he picks up a Chucky doll, and it happens to be the Chucky doll that is possessed from the original
God.
movies,
Oh,
and he havoc, man. I'm telling you, he creates havoc. There's going to be murder, mayhem, blood, guts, you name it. It's all going to be there because it's Chucky, and this isn't part of the movie universe. You know, the reboot that they just made. It's not part of that. So this is its own thing because it's set in the 90s. I think it is this one.
okay. Chucky
Go
just
check it
won't
out.
die, really.
It
Chucky
just
won't
won't.
die.
Chucky won't die,
They don't make
man.
them like they used to, man. Because I tell you, dolls these days they mash up in 2 weeks. Yeah,
Listen,
Chucky doll has been going
trust me,
super
toys
strong.
nowadays they do not last, man. I'm
That
telling
won't
you,
last.
gosh, they do not last. Seriously. So yeah, fans of Chucky, go check it out. You know, just go on YouTube and check out those trailers, and
Yeah.
yeah, tell us what you think. All right, Deval, anniversary corner. What are we cooking?
Okay, I had two options today. Anniversary corner. I could have gone to 2011 and done Green Lantern, or I could have done Superman Returns. What do you think
Okay.
we should do? What do you reckon? What deserves it? Because this is in line with our main movie we're going to talk about in a second, The
You know
Suicide
what?
Squad. So, what do you
I want to
reckon? Eh?
go. I want to revisit. I mean, now that you just said that, I want to revisit Green Lantern.
Is
Let's
it?
go. Let's do Green Lantern. Why you were going to do Superman Returns?
I put Green Lantern down first, actually, but then something said to me, "Oh, let's just do Superman." But yeah, Green
Okay.
Lantern. Yeah,
Well,
Green
listen.
Lantern
All right.
2011.
Yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds, main star. Actually, Taika Waititi's in it as well. Don't forget.
He
Taika
plays
Waititi's in it, like his
one
friend
of
in
the
the chair
Lantern
kind of
Corps.
thing. No, no, no. He's like his buddy. He's like his comic relief kind of buddy.
Oh right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So like his mate.
Um,
Angela Bassett's in this, and that's where I think he met Blake Lively. I think they met
yeah,
in this
that's where they
film.
hit it
I,
off.
I think so. So yeah, it's. I mean, it could have been so much better. At the time, I
Yeah,
didn't. At the time, do you know what? I didn't really mind it at the time. I know a lot of people cussed it, but at the time, I didn't really mind it. It was entertaining. It was what it
yeah,
was. Green Lantern, Lantern Corps, that kind of stuff. Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds in it,
yeah.
and the whole what's his name's in it actually? Mark
Jason
Strong, isn't it?
Isaacs. Oh,
No, no,
sorry,
no.
yeah, Mark Strong. It's
The
Mark Strong,
baddie.
yeah, the
Yeah,
baddie,
and he,
Sinestro,
yeah, Sinestro, and he also
Sinestro.
plays a baddie in in Shazam. He's always a
Yeah,
baddie, this guy, but he's a
what's
nice
this
guy.
guy
But he's a
doing for
really nice
DC?
guy, I'm sure he
I
gives to
don't.
charity. He donates, to food banks. I'm sure he's a nice guy,
This
but
guy's been in loads of movies though, Mark Strong. He's just like one
yeah,
of those characters.
kick ass. He's a baddie in that
Yeah,
as
kick
well.
ass as well, baddie in that one as well. And
Mm,
so Devout, I mean, this
mm.
one, it was a flop
Yeah, it was a flop.
at
It
the
was a
box
flop
office.
at the box office, and I actually think it got a harder deal than it should have got. I mean, I don't think it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I think other movies could sit in this category too. I think
Mm,
easily, but somehow they don't. So like Iron Man 3 for me, I
yeah.
actually think
Yeah.
it's shitter. I
Yeah.
that film angered me,
Because it's
but
such a
it's
big letdown.
exactly so.
Yeah. So
uh,
out of Superman Returns, which is the other movie on Anniversary Corner, which is
mm,
2006, and Green Lantern, which one would you put on first?
I'd put on Superman Returns. Superman
Uh,
Returns. There's a really good scene with the airplane, and there's a
yeah.
couple of good scenes and moments in it with a bullet. Bullet hits him in the eye and stuff like
I
that.
Yeah.
There's a few good moments, and he's actually a good-looking Superman. He's six
Superman.
foot four or something. Brandon Roof. He looks like the comic book Superman that you'd expect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't his fault if the film was shit. I didn't like the Lois Lane. She was dry.
Oh,
The Lois Lane
Kate
was
Bosworth,
dry.
man.
Yeah, I
She
didn't
was,
like her.
yeah. I
Didn't
don't know
like
what
her.
you know what? Can I say one
Did
thing?
not
I don't,
like her.
DC, I don't know what they're doing with Lois Lane, man. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's just something about it.
What about
Um,
Lois Lane? Not Lois Lane. And I didn't like the fact that Cyclops was in this film as well. What's Cyclops doing?
oh,
Huh? Where was he
flipping
going?
Cyclops. What was he doing?
Joker.
And see, the thing is, Kevin Spacey, he's kind of like, see, the original Lex Luthor,
Mm,
the one
mm,
that
mm,
Christopher
mm.
Reeve, they played that kind of campy. This
Yeah,
guy, he
yeah,
was kind of a bit more, Kevin Spacey's one was a bit more sinister. So
yeah.
that was all kind of good. You know what, man? They had the chance to,
Mm.
because this came out 2006, and the last time
Six.
that we
Yeah,
saw a Superman movie was in the 80s.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
it'd been a long time. So, yeah, either one of those movies, I think a lot of fans are going to feel pissed off. They're going to feel a bit
Mm,
aggrieved. But out of the two, you're right, Deval. I would put on Superman Returns
mm,
first. Like, I would
yeah.
kind of like watch that one, watch it for Brandon Ruth. So,
Woof,
but
woof.
the hype
Roof
on
is
Superman
on
Returns,
fire.
Deval, I
Yeah.
remember when that trailer came out, man.
Yeah, good trailer. Yeah,
Good
good
trailer,
trailer.
great trailer. It just needed to deliver a bit more on that one. All right, so those are your movies for Anniversary Corner, and they fit in nicely because those are DC movies.
Hmm.
And the movie that we're going to be speaking about, or Deval's going to be shedding some light on, is The Suicide Squad, which came out on the 30th, well, just basically a couple of days ago, really.
Hmm.
And this movie is kind of interesting, Deval, because for a number of reasons. Let me just kind of set this up. So, number one, directed by James Gunn, who famously got fired from the MCU and was
Yeah.
without an employer. So Warner Brothers, DC, they kind of picked him up and said, "Hey, you want to come work with us, and you can take any movie any character that you want, and you can make a movie." He goes, I'll do the Suicide Squad." So he directed it. We've already had the Suicide Squad before. David Ayer, he directed
Hmm.
that movie. I can't remember when it was, starring Will Smith and starring Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie's back in this one, by the way, as Harley Quinn. Will Smith's not in this one, but Deval. The most important thing is set it up for us and let us know what you think about it, because yeah, I'm intrigued to kind of hear your take on this.
Yeah, so I'll set it up. So the Suicide Squad is a sequel. It's a sequel to Suicide Squad from 2016. This Suicide Squad, like you just said, James Gunn. A lot of the major players return. So Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. We've got Idris Elba playing Bloodsport.
Mm.
Different character compared to Will Smith's character, who was it Deadshot?
But yeah,
something like
Deadshot.
that.
Yeah.
And they both got a similar kind of like they both got daughters that they kind of love and
Right.
stuff, and but they're still hitmen. Boomerang's in this. You got Rick Flag's in this. You've got Ratcatcher, who's a new character who basically controls rats. You've got the Polka Dot Man, who
Yeah.
actually we've seen before in Ant-Man and
Yeah.
Ant-Man and Wasp. He's played that character before. He's been in sort of Marvel movies before. Who else we got? We've got Shark, King Shark,
King
who's
Shark,
voiced
Sylvester
by
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone. So he's a proper big. He's a shark. Like no messing around. He's a proper shark, which was supposed to happen in the first one, but they thought it might look a bit weird at a shark.
Right. But
So
then
they
they
put
had
on
the Croc Man, didn't
yeah,
they?
Killer Croc, but it was meant to
Yeah.
be King Shark, but they just weren't ready for it then. But now they know things are ready for it, so they
Yeah.
had the shark. Um,
What
so
about
yeah,
what
so
about Amanda Waller, man? Is she?
you know what? Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. Still, my favorite character is Amanda Waller.
Yeah, she's
Viola Davis.
badass.
She is gangster. Like she just does things, says things. Sometimes just a look in her face.
I
She
know.
is just so good at playing that
Yeah,
role. She's gangster.
she's really good.
Also, we've got John Cena as well playing. What's his name?
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. So he's good in it. He's beefy and whatever. So yes, all these characters are in it. It's really good. So this scene, I guess, is similar to Suicide Squad. Basically, big threat. Amanda Waller, calls upon these people because they're obviously in prison and whatever. No one cares about them. So they're I guess assets that can be disposed.
Yeah.
And they all get together to go to this island where there's a dictator that's there, and they have a mission to deal with this dictator because obviously the interest of America. You know what America's like. So, so they so, so they
Yeah.
got to go over there and deal with this dictator, and things don't happen to plan. I don't want to spoil it fully. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to,
Okay.
but things don't
Shit
happen to plan.
goes tits
Like
up. Right.
the dictator, yeah, they go there to deal with him, but it's not so straightforward. It's like things happen with the dictator. Harley Quinn, I must say, in this film, she's better than the previous film. She ain't got
Is
the Joker to
it?
distract her. Harley Quinn
Right.
and even
Okay.
Margot Robbie as an actress, whether they changed her face and put it on a stunt person's body, but if that was really her running around
She's
in that
done well.
film, she's mad respect. When she's running, see how movies like Tom Cruise has got the run and lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got it unlocked better than Tom Cruise. When
Is
she's running around,
it?
she looks like she means business. You can see the definition in her legs. She's
Yeah.
really
She's
fit.
trained. She's trained
If
for
it
it.
is
Yeah.
her, then she's done really well. Idris Elba, I think he's really good in this as
Yeah.
well. He's really
Nice.
convincing. He's kind of like their leader. John Cena gives some really good comic relief. He's a bit mad. He's actually a
Wacky.
bit mad. Peacemaker is his name, but it's kind of he'll do anything to get it. Like he says, it's mad. I mean, and also Ratcatcher. She's a bit of a love it like a I don't know like a heartful character. She means
Right.
well,
Okay.
but whatever. And all the characters bring their flavor. Rick Flag is the same as he was before, but yeah. So this film is very much a James Gunn film. This
Right. Okay.
film, yeah, let's make no mistake. This film is like Guardians, but if Guardians was PG, this is a 15 or 18.
Yeah. Okay.
People's heads are getting chopped off.
Nice.
People's heads are getting sliced, and it slowly kind of falls to the side. People are getting blown up. Yeah, this
Oh
film
gosh.
starts with a bang. I'm not
So
going to
this
say what
is
that
R
bang is.
rated. Is this R
Yes,
rated?
100%, 100%.
Okay. Wicked.
There's
Yeah.
no like messing around. This one, people are getting blown up, sliced up.
Yes.
The camera doesn't pan away. James Gunn must have enjoyed this.
Yeah,
This is
and
what
that's
the
what I
original
was gonna
Suicide
say.
Squad should have been.
Yeah,
These
and
are
that's
bad
probably to
people.
him. That's probably what the appeal was, right?
Yeah,
They probably said to
yeah.
him, he said, "Look, I'll do it, but I want to make it R rated. I want to
People
go
are getting
guns blazing."
blown up, man, blown up, and it's good to see it with a comic book film. We see it in The Boys and things like that,
Yeah,
but this,
Deadpool.
mate,
Yeah,
Harley Quinn can be Harley Quinn. Deadshot can be Deadshot.
yeah,
What's his
yeah.
name? There's a bit in the film where, sorry, Bloodsport. Bloodsport and Peacemaker have a competition to see who can kill the most. Wicked.
I love
One of
that.
the
I
best scenes
love
in the
that.
film.
I love it.
Crazy,
I
crazy.
love that.
And then the
So
lady
with
from Queen of the South, the Portuguese lady. Who
Yeah.
was also in, I think she was in, she's been in a few films, but yeah, she's in it as well. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. No, I was going to say, so this Harley Quinn,
yeah.
did they ever make any reference to like kind of Joker or the
Yeah, they did.
previous
Yeah,
movies or
yeah,
Birds of
they
Prey
did.
or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. Not Birds of Prey from what I can remember, no, but they do make a reference to the previous Suicide Squad.
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
it is a, because even her and Boomerang, when they first meet up, they're like, oh, what are you still doing around? Oh, last time, oh, whatever, so because they were on the same
They
team before, weren't
acknowledge.
they?
Yeah, they
Exactly. So
acknowledge.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is that continuity. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent movie. It's a decent movie. I don't know
Is
if it's
it?
great. I don't know if it's great. It's not shit. It's somewhere in between, but it's definitely
Right.
a fun movie. It's a fun movie. The music, obviously, James Gunn. The music is there, really relevant to what you've seen in the images.
Yeah.
It's funny, and it's got two post-credit scenes. So stay right to the end. Don't leave until
Right.
the credits
Okay.
come.
And does
Stay,
that
stay,
mean
stay.
that there's going to be a continuation of the story or other
Of some
characters
sort,
or?
of some sort. Yeah, there was a continuation. I won't spoil it, but there was a continuation of some sort. But it might not be a surprise to most or to some, but yeah, it's yeah,
Oh man, yeah, it sounds really good. So,
yeah.
where does it kind of like fit in according to you, like on the whole DC? Because is this part of the DC extended universe?
Yes, yeah, because even Amanda Waller says that Bloodsport is in prison for shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet. So we know that
Yes,
Superman's involved in this as well. It's all involved. It's better than the last Suicide Squad. It kind of, for me, it kind of sits in with like Shazam kind of levels. It's kind of like that.
right.
It's good.
Okay.
It's not great, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's, it's better. It's better than the Justice League that we saw
Yep.
in the original Justice League is better than that.
2017 or whatever it was, or
Yeah, so it's a good
yeah,
film. It's a good film. It's good. It's good. Go watch it. It's good.
yeah,
I might give it a seven or
brilliant.
so. I'll give it a seven or so. I think
And you
something
know
like that.
what? That's actually interesting because, I mean, normally the DC movies that we watch the first time
Mm.
round, we're not always this kind of positive about them, right?
Yeah, yeah. This one's decent. James Gunn. He's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, he knows
Exactly.
what he's doing.
And he's going to obviously bring that level of excitement and that level of
Mm.
fun to Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, which is going to be his
Yes,
last.
yes.
That's going to be his last Marvel
Last.
movie, by the way.
It is okay.
Apparently, which is what he's said on Instagram. So before he goes over back to Marvel, folks, catch him at DC, Warner Brothers, whatever, and
Mm.
check out the Suicide Squad. So this is out in the cinemas in the UK, in the US.
Yep.
Hasn't hit Australia just yet. So definitely when I've got a chance to watch it, I'll definitely do that. But the other movie that we can speak about, a movie that I did go out and watch and which you watched is actually, well, have we got time for it, Deval?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, let's speak about this one now. This is M. Night Shyamalan's latest movie, and yeah, so this one's called Old.
Mm.
And we kind of watched the trailer maybe about a month ago when we were like, yeah, man, the
Yeah.
trailer on this looks epic. It's like, people, they're on a beach and time
Mm.
moves differently on this beach and there's something sinister going on. And, young people, they start turning old. So that was kind of like, all we got in this trailer. So, watch the movie. And you know what? He's had a bit of a bad kind of like there's kind of been a bit of backlash with M Night because
Yeah.
he's had a few duds, Lady in the Water.
Mm.
He's had kind of I can't the Last Airbender. He made a movie with
Oh
Will Smith
yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah.
his kid as
After
well,
Earth.
which After Earth they didn't really do well. But this is the guy who brought us The Sixth Sense. He brought us
Yeah.
Unbreakable. He brought us
Split.
Split.
Split
He
was really
brought
good. I liked
exactly.
Split. Yeah.
And then Glass as well. So there's kind of like he
Hmm.
and The Visit. I think it was The Visit where
The
these
Visit. Yeah.
creepy
Old people.
grandparents,
Yeah.
really really good. I kind of like that one as well. So he's back, and so the setup is this: so a family, they going on a holiday. They book this holiday on the internet. They go to this kind of paradise, and they get welcomed. And as soon as they get there, they've been given great, nice drinks and everything, and the place looks amazing. And the proprietor or kind of the manager of the hotel says, "Hey, listen, you look like a great family. There's a secret beach that I want to tell you about." And if you want to go there, you can go there. I can arrange for a car to take you there. You're going to have the best time of your life. So the family's thinking, all right, yeah, why not? Let's do it. So they head off to the beach. Other people turn up to the beach as well. And everything's going, peaky. The water's lovely. The scenery's amazing. But this is an M. Night Shyamalan
Mm.
movie. and to basically, obviously we can't, like, I'm skirting around the whole thing because I want people to kind of, like, enjoy it, but time does move differently on this
Yeah.
beach, on this island, or wherever you want to call it, and the people on the beach have to figure out, what's going on and how to kind of stop the effects of whatever this beach is going through.
Mhm.
And so there is kind of, you got to watch it to the end to figure out exactly what happens to the characters and everything. And you know what, Devout, I didn't have huge expectations. Like, if I'm being honest, I saw the
Yeah.
trailer and I thought, okay, this is good, but I wasn't going to be like, oh no, this is going to be amazing. And I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was all right. I'm not going to say like it's an instant classic. I'm not going to say it's up there with Sixth Sense or Unbreakable, because I
Yeah.
really really like those movies. And but what I'm going to say is, he knows how to build a story. M. Night Shyamalan, like, he builds up the tension. There were so many nods. I'm not sure if you picked up on this, but there were so many nods to Jaws. The
Okay.
way the way that the kind of the camera does a close up on people's faces, he really
Mm.
loves to zoom in on the emotion of people's characters, the eyes, the chin, the teeth, and all this sort of stuff. And there's some like really interesting, like, there were moments when I was in the cinema, I was like, shit, what the hell's going on? I want to find out what is going on over here, man. This is like, edge of your seat kind of stuff. And then obviously you figure out what the whole thing is. But I don't think it's an instant classic. I don't think people are gonna be like, "Wow, this is M. Night Shyamalan back at his best." I think they're gonna place it in that bit where he's like, where the visit is, and um, you know, um, another kind of movie to
Yeah.
add to his catalog of keeping a suspense, keeping the viewer on the edge of the seat. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent. Like, I wasn't bored. I wasn't nodding off, and it was worth it. I think it was worth the watch. But what did you make of
Mm.
it?
No, I do like M. Night Shyamalan's films. I like the suspense. I like the fact that sometimes, or most of the times, what you think is going on is going on. It's not
Yeah,
like something at the end and it's like, oh no, it's not that. So
yeah,
there's a weird like science or mystery involved in a lot of his films, and this one was no different. I mean, the fact that time is accelerated when you're on this
yeah,
patch of the island, but how it's accelerated, we don't know when we find out
and
obviously towards the end.
yeah,
But even
but
then,
we
it's
still
like you
don't
still
know though, do we?
exactly you still don't fully know how it happens.
Yeah,
But you know that there's people that are sort of pulling strings to make sure there's people that go to this part of the island. So there's always something insidious going on. But it's just interesting. Obviously, there's kids that can't go to the island that turn out being teenagers, and then they get older and older. And
yeah.
then there's it's so funny the scene when the kids like they're kids, but then they
The
turn into
kid,
teenagers. Their
and
hormones
they
are
get
going
it on.
crazy. They have sex, and then as they come out of the tent, she's pregnant already,
Yeah,
and she's
yeah.
just getting pregnant, more pregnant, and more pregnant as the minutes go on. I think 1 minute is half. No, what is it? 1 minute. Oh no, half an hour is
Like
equivalent to
3 years or something, or something. I don't know,
something
something
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, something crazy like that. But yeah, time is so accelerated that you can't hang about. You ain't got time to
Yeah,
waste. So I like it. I did like it. Like I say, it wasn't great, but I did enjoy it.
yeah.
And yeah, I just want M. Night Shyamalan to continue making films like this.
Original, because it was like, well, actually, when I say
Yeah,
original,
it's
I
actually
didn't
from
know
a book
this.
though.
It's
It's from a
based on a
novel.
book. I thought it
Yeah,
was original. Yeah, it's based on a
yeah,
book.
yeah, yeah,
And but I just thought the whole premise was interesting,
mm,
that people get sent, get put on this island, and time works completely different.
yeah,
And yeah, man. And there were so many moments when I was watching the movie, I was like, shit, man, what would you do in that situation? Like,
yeah.
how long would you have to wait, and, like,
Gosh,
to get shit done? So yeah, man, it's scary because you're thinking about old age. Like,
yeah,
people are
yeah,
aging, people are
yeah,
turning like old and grey within the
yeah.
space of like a few hours and stuff. So
Exactly. Crazy.
there is, yeah, and obviously there's a few shocking bits in there, but yeah, like we're saying, it's decent. You got to watch it, like, to figure out exactly what happens to the guys at the end. But yeah, it's decent. I'll probably give it 7 out of 10. Deval.
Yeah, I think something's similar for me. I reckon
Yeah,
similar for me. Yeah, it's a decent film. I just hope I don't think it's going to be a box office smash, but I think
no,
it's one of those films that would be a slow burner. People will discover it, and they'll appreciate it as time goes on. No
Yeah.
pun intended.
Exactly. And as long as he keeps getting the opportunity to make these movies, then that's all fine. Because apparently at one point he wasn't getting
funding, isn't it?
He wasn't getting funding, and then apparently he had to sell, or he had to remortgage his house, or he put in his own money for the visit for that movie, and then that did a lot of money. So maybe hopefully he gets more funding and he can make more movies. All right, okay. So Deval, I think that is all we've got time for. Go check out those movies in the cinema. So that's the Suicide Squad and Old, and check out all the other stuff that we've mentioned on the show. Remember, get in touch with us.
Let us know what you think. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Give us a shout.
Yeah, give us a shout and write a review on the if you can on Apple Podcasts, and we'd really appreciate it. Right, Deval, take it easy. We'll do this again.
Defo, peace out.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.